everyone, Jus4SweetZ here. So today we are going to make a barbecue sauce. We have summer coming, Mom's Day is coming, Cinco de Mayo is coming, and everybody likes to barbecue because the weather's getting nice. So I thought I would throw together a homemade barbecue sauce. I actually was inspired by my 17-year-old daughter. We were making some food last week and she wanted to get a little bit involved, so I had her make homemade barbecue sauce, and she did her own recipe, and let me just tell you, I could drink the stuff in a cup. It was so good. So this isn't exactly what she does because I don't know all her little secrets, but I kind of did my own take on it, and it's kind of a thin barbecue sauce. It's delicious. You're going to love it. It's simple, and you probably have most of the ingredients in your home. I do use a couple of Wild Tree products, and I give you the substitutions in those that you can do, or read the ingredients on the back so that you can kind of substitute what you want to do. But if you're interested in ordering Wild Tree or being a representative of Wild Tree, I will put a link in the description box below so that you can go on there and order or join the team. Anyway, let's get this barbecue sauce rolling because we have some grilling to do. All right, so let's get started on this great barbecue sauce. I have my pan going at a medium to low heat right now. You want to heat this up. The ingredients I'm going to use today, I'm going to use some apple cider vinegar, ketchup, and mustard as the base of the barbecue sauce. Oh, I forgot one other item that is a necessity. And that would be liquid smoke, because this is going to be a smoky, not super smoky though, more of a little bit of a sweet and tangy with a little bit of a kick. But we do want liquid smoke in there to make that, you know, give it that hickory taste. So those are my bases. And then really for my seasonings, I am using Wild Tree Adobo Seasoning Blend. It has garlic, sea salt, onion powder, pepper, oregano, cayenne pepper in it, and that's what I'm going to use just for a little bit of seasoning. Now, feel free to use whatever you want in place of this. If you'd like to, you can check out my Wild Tree site. I'll put the link below, and you can place an order on there and see what other great items they have. If not, go ahead and substitute your favorite items. So we're going to use the adobo blend, and then I'm also going to use Wild Tree's Absolutely Onion Blend. I've used that in a couple of my other recipes, and I want just like a little bit of onion in it, but I don't want the big chunks. So this is just their version. Which basically has onion powder, sea salt, garlic powder, black pepper. It has leeks in it, and a little bit of cornstarch for thickening. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. Like I said, that's also available on my website. And other than that, I have some cayenne pepper right here. I have some red pepper flakes, and I have some black pepper because I'm going to add just a little bit more because remember, I want it to be a little bit spicy. Now, I measure by my eyes. I don't use a lot of measuring cups unless I'm baking. Oh, and I also forgot the light brown sugar for the sweetness. Now, if you want to substitute with honey, you can. I'm going to use light brown sugar. So we're going to use, it's been on for a while. We're going to use approximately, excuse me, a half a cup to 3/4 a cup of the apple cider vinegar. And then we want to do our ketchup base. Which this one is brand new, so I need to get that open. Alright, so with the ketchup, we're going to add approximately 1 cup of ketchup. Now, the good thing about this is you don't have to have exact measurements because you can, you know, do it to your taste. So if you can see this, I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit. So we have about a cup of ketchup in there. Let me go down there. There we go. Okay, so we have our 3/4 of a cup apple cider vinegar, about a cup of ketchup. You can add a little bit more if you want to. My daughter and I kind of, this is my 17-year-old daughter, we kind of just play with it a little bit. She made a sauce, and that's what inspired me. She made a sauce last week, and it was so amazing. I was trying to give her a job in the kitchen, and she made this great barbecue sauce. We had spare ribs, and so I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to replicate her recipe a little bit. So that's what I'm doing now. All right, and then we're going to use about a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half of yellow mustard. You can also substitute this with Dijon if you like. Next, we're going to add a little bit of liquid smoke. And I use in this recipe roughly around 2 teaspoons. Maybe, I might even just do a teaspoon in this. All right, and then after you get that going, you want to go ahead and whisk that. Get everything mixing together. So the apple cider vinegar gives it that little bit of tanginess, and then you've got the ketchup and the mustard for the base. And now we're going to add the seasonings to create the sweetness and the spiciness. So we've got the tang factor. This is how easy barbecue sauce is to make. All right, so with our brown sugar, we are going to add approximately a half a cup of light brown sugar. Like I said, if you want to use agave nectar or honey for this, you can. I had a brain lapse there for a second. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix that brown sugar in. Now, like I said, we have this like on a medium heat, medium to medium low for right now. And then once we get it in there, I'll leave it right at medium. And you just want to make sure you whisk all those ingredients together. All right. Next, we're going to add a dash of cayenne. Maybe 2 dashes of cayenne because we want to give it a little bit of heat. Okay. I know that was more like 3 or 4. And then we're going to add a little bit of black pepper. And I'm just going to add, oh, that's the wrong side. Let's see. Let's do this side. All right, so I'm going to add, I don't know, just a few shakes. Kind of eye that one. All right, and then I'm going to add a little bit of our adobo blend. And I would say I'm only going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of that. You can see that the sauce is starting to bubble, which is good because you want everything to cook and caramelize. Now I'm going to add the Absolutely Onion blend, and I think I'm going to add maybe about, I don't know, about that much, about a teaspoon, close to a tablespoon of that. And then we want some crushed red pepper in there, and that's going to add some heat. So you're going to have the balance of the tangy, the sweet, and the spicy. Let's go ahead and get that in there. Stir everything up. And at this point, as it's boiling, this is when you want to kind of give it a little test. And see if you're missing anything, or, you know, maybe if you want a little bit more spiciness to it. That's really good. It's a little bit vinegary for me. I love the vinegar because I love that tang, but I think I want to add a little bit more ketchup to that and maybe a little bit more heat. Other than that, it's perfect. All right, so let's add a little bit more ketchup. And I think I'm just going to add a little bit more crushed red pepper. Just a little bit, just a few shakes. I don't want too much. I don't want it to be to the point where no one can eat it. It's definitely got enough sweetness, so I'd say leave that brown sugar at about a half a cup. All right, so I'm just going to let this sit here and boil and caramelize. And we'll be back and I'll show you what the end result is. Okay, so it's all done. I just put some in a ramekin. There is enough here. It's hot still. I'm just letting it cool off, but you can see the thickness of it. It's not a super thick sauce, but it's a good glazing, thinner, like southern kind of style sauce. If you want it thicker, you have 2 options. You can add more ketchup to it, or you can add a little bit of tomato paste to it if you like a really thick barbecue sauce. I prefer mine a little bit on the thinner side, and because I just keep brushing it on as they bake or cook on the grill. So there it is, and you can see there's a ton left over. I mean, there's a ton. This would probably make you a good 2 racks of ribs, and you'd be great. So I'm going to give it a little taste. It is still a little warm. I think it's the perfect, I could eat this by the spoonful. The perfect consistency of spicy, sweet, and tangy. I like all the factors in it, so that's basically how I would make it. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Also, I hope you give me a thumbs up on this, and I would love for you to join my Facebook page recipe book. And then I also have my page Jus4SweetZ, which actually just shows a lot of the baked goods I do. So go to Recipe Book and look for some of these recipes along with other people's recipes that post on there. Also, go to my Wild Tree page if you're interested in ordering any product or selling the product or just trying it out. If you would like to try a sample of something, let me know. And if I have a sample packet available, I'll mail it to you and you can try that. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. And until next time, next video, good grilling. God bless.